It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Harem Scarum with Hail, Hail. And starting off the show tonight, we heard some Great White, Fast Road to Nowhere, and a guy who's always on a fast road to, well, somewhere at least, is my good friend Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What up, man? How we doing?
Well, it is time to rock. I was a little bit concerned today about my ability to speak.
Why?
My allergies have been kicking my ass all day.
Really?
Just my nose just ripping like a sieve, just run, and just running down the back of my throat. It's like, what in the hell is going on here?
Ugh,
so
that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, I know. So I was able to finally get it all cleared up, dried up, so I can at least speak without going
right
all night. So
you could do that. Why not? The fans will love it.
Yeah, that's really attractive to be sitting there snorting, every other sentence.
Can't be any worse than listening to Tim James phone calls.
True, but I like to present myself in a little more of a professional way, and I don't want to sit there and cough and hack and snort, with snot running down my face and down the back of my throat.
Right.
It's just something else. I don't know what it is. I think it might be the central heat, since it's been getting cold and the heat has to kick on, and every time it kicks on, man, I just start sneezing.
Yeah. Did you clean it first?
I cleaned the vents the best I could and put a new filter in and all that other stuff, but it hasn't subsided, so I guess I'm just stuck with it.
Yep. Don't worry, dude. I mean, May is just a few weeks away.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Well, we are winding down another year already of the Classic Metal Show, and we only have a couple of live shows left.
Yeah, we really only have what? We have this week. We're live, until the 13th? I think that's when we're not live.
Right.
13th.
Right.
And then we're live on the 20th, and that's it.
Yeah, so live shows, we've only got a couple of live shows. We've got a upcoming takeover show.
We do.
And we've got the best of show, and we got the top 10 countdown show.
Right.
So we've got a, it's not that you're not going to get a new show. It's just that the live shows are dwindling down.
Quickly ending.
which reminds me, as you know, we often, and you fans pay attention here, we do a best of show at the end of the year, and it is that time to where you guys and gals, if there's a memorable moment from 2014 that you think should be featured in the best of the Classic Metal Show, please drop me an email request at theclassicmetalshow.com and tell me what your favorite segment was, and I'll throw it in the best of show.
And if we get no entries this year for that, I say I'm going to make a bold statement, as they say.
All right, Rev.
All right. My bold statement is if you don't get any participation from the fans, it's 6 hours of Tim James phone calls.
Right.
That's all it'll be.
Right.
Tim James phone calls for 6 hours.
Sure. Well, you guys and gals, I'm sure that there's something that's memorable that sticks out in your mind, a segment that you thought might have been pretty funny or should be the top 10 or whatever it is in your mind that sticks out, and let me know what it is, and I'll make it part of the top 10, what am I saying, the best of show,
right?
And I'll give you credit for it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So it's like, hey, Okie Tigress says she liked this segment because, whatever, and I'll do it.
Well, there you go.
So please, if you got something to help me out here, it'll make my job easier. Otherwise, sure. I'm just going to pick what I thought was the best segment. So
you have ideas? Have you kept track all year?
All I have to do is run down through the podcast segments, and something will pop out in my mind.
Right.
But, I once I see it, then I remember it. Then yeah, that was a good one.
See, I literally remember nothing. This is why, we'll let everybody behind the curtain. This is why you do that show and I do the top 10.
Right.
because I can't remember what we talked about last week.
Sure.
And you remember, I mean, you'll look at a name of something and be like, oh, yeah, that's when we talked about this, and this guy called in, and then you said this, and I'll be like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, I listen to these best, like the stuff on the Facebook, the YouTube stuff that we've been posting.
Right. I listened to the Maddest Hatter today.
I didn't listen to it today, but I've listened to that one a million times. That's just fucking funny. Hey, babe.
My wife wants to say something to you.
My wife wants to say something to you. Hey, babe.
Are you there, babe? Yeah, I'm there, babe.
Hi. One of the greatest fucking didn't see that comings ever.
No.
Too funny.
But I did listen to that today because I was looking for something just to pass the time while I was doing other things, and I thought
Sure.
I'm gonna put that on. And the thing is, and I know I've spoken about this before, but you know, having the iPhone and having the Bose docking station, I just pull up the YouTube or the Spreaker and plug my phone into the Bose station, and then I can hear it, you know, throughout the house. Yeah.
See, that's nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even tell you. I got a new gadget yesterday.
You did. I haven't spoken with you. What did you get?
I got the Roku stick.
How does it work? Does it work as good as the big unit?
It works better than the big unit.
Really?
But it's a touch slower.
Okay.
Not because, and I don't know if it's because there's not as much power in it or whatever, but it loads a little bit slower.
Okay.
But other than loading a little bit slower, it plays fantastic.
Nice.
It's really clean, and it seems like the connection. I have two in my house. I have two connections, two internet connections in my house, two Wi-Fis.
Okay.
And basically, I have a main one, and then I have a what do you call that? Accelerator or whatever.
Right.
So that you can get it in the back of the house.
It's like a booster.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like that, but I actually had to connect to it. You know, you connect it to the main router, and I don't want to get into all this technical shit. Basically, there's two connections in my house. When you come into my house, there's the Aiken Man Palace 1 and 2. When I with the old one, the Aiken Man Palace, which is the actual router that's here in the office, I would get like really low bars, you know, back in the bedroom or whatever.
Right.
And so that's why I would have the other one, and then I could connect the other one. It's hooked up in the bathroom, and then it works fine. So, but now with this stick, they both come in full bars. It's
okay.
Fantastic. I mean, it gets a lot more range. Like I said, it loads just a touch slower, but you know, the reason I got the stick was because I hated the fact that Roku did not upgrade Netflix on the older Roku, the Roku 2.
Okay.
Do you have a Roku 2 or a 3?
I have a 3.
So on 3, you know how when Netflix updated, and now if you're watching a show, you don't have to push the button after everything. You can just let it run for 3 or 4 episodes or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, well, you couldn't do that on the Roku 2, and it drove me crazy.
All right.
You know, so I got the stick, and the stick was like $50, and man, it works nice. Real nice.
Okay. Excellent.
So there you go. There's my gadget review of the day.
There you go. Well, I love the Roku. I watched it last night. The thing that I've been vegging on for the last couple of weeks is I've been watching the entire original Twilight Zone series.
Oh, wow.
So I'm up to number 70.
Okay, of how many?
138, I think.
Wow.
So I'm halfway through.
Okay.
But one thing I did notice, because I was too young to appreciate the Twilight Zone when it first came on, and then, of course, now that, you know, decades have passed.
Sure.
It's amazing how many people that became 60s and 70s television staple actors were on that thing.
Got their start there.
That's where they got their start. So many people. I mean, it's just amazing to me because they go, oh, hey, that's Burgess Meredith, or hey, that's
Leslie Nielsen,
Jonathan Winters, or Jack Klugman, or you know, all these people, even William Shatner. I mean,
Was it in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was a young newlywed.
Wow.
And in one of them, he was addicted to this little fortune telling machine at this little cafe.
Okay.
Where you put in a penny and you ask it a question, and then you pull the slot and it spits out a piece of paper to your. It's like a 8-ball almost. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like the
Right,
magic 8-ball. You ask it a question, and so he was stuck asking this little fortune telling machine at this diner table question, and he thought that everything that came out of it was, there was some truth to it because he was a superstitious guy as it was.
Right.
So it was pretty funny, but this was before Star Trek, and I mean, it's just amazing to me the how many stars or future stars got their start on the original Twilight Zone series.
Dude, is it weird that I've never seen a single episode?
You should watch it.
I would like it.
I think you'd really get into it because, like I said, as a kid, I remember it vaguely being on, but it was a kind of a mature theme.
Sure.
For a kid, but now that I'm older and have the time and I can look back and watch these things, number one, it's very well produced.
Right.
And it's the storylines are very well done. And the thing is that I notice a lot is that they focus in on quite a bit of supernatural and UFOs.
Oh, I do need to watch this.
A lot of UFO stuff.
Dude, what's weird is that I guess I never watched it because my dad didn't watch it. My dad was like big into, but my dad watched like the offshoots of that.
Okay.
Like what was that called? Night Gallery or something?
Oh yeah.
Night Gallery and Dark Shadows.
Yeah, that was like late 60s, early 70s.
I remember watching both of those.
Yeah, look at AOR Rocks in the chat room.
Wow.
There he is playing the little fortune telling machine.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just never watched Twilight Zone for whatever reason, but I did watch the other Night Gallery especially. I remember that one. The guy would walk in. There's like all those weird paintings that were just like hanging.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like a weird stage. It was like all real kind of creepy.
That was like 68, maybe 69, somewhere around there.
Dude, we're old.
Yeah, but Twilight Zone started in like 58.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was before the staples of 60s television.
Okay.
But once you start watching it and realizing who the actors or actresses are, then you're just like, holy shit, that's
how'd that guy get in there?
Yeah, and of course everybody's really young.
Right.
So it's just like, wow, look at that.
Exactly. Burgess Meredith probably don't recognize him because all I can ever think of him from is Rocky when he was like 1,000.
Yeah. So he's a young guy in a couple episodes. I just watched one with Jack Klugman today.
Jack Klugman,
where he's a pool shark,
and these guys are now dead.
Yeah, and he wanted to play a guy whose legacy was he was the best pool player ever, and it was Jonathan Winters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Who just passed away.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The only one so far that you've mentioned that's still alive is Shatner.
Right.
And he's old.
Yep. So, yeah, I highly recommend to watch this series.
Check it out. I spent the whole week, I really didn't watch any TV, but I had it on a lot. Just kind of redoing again, going through Sons of Anarchy one more time.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just getting ready for the series finale.
Right.
Jesus. Let me turn the phone off. Oh, man. But yeah, that's what I did this week. I just finished season 6 yesterday. So.
Well, when I finish the Twilight Zone series, I'm going to start the Archer series again.
I need to finish up with the Archer stuff too. I haven't watched. I literally have not watched not one episode this season.
Yeah, because Archer starts again in January.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to go back and watch all the episodes up to this point.
And what do you watch Archer on?
It's on Netflix.
The new seasons are?
I don't know if they've released this last season yet.
Yeah.
But all of them up to that point are on there.
Okay. Because I know you sort of keep up with it, but I didn't know how you keep up with.
Well, I watched last season of Archer when it aired originally.
Okay.
But, as far as the previous seasons, they're all on Netflix as well.
Right. Yeah, I need to watch those. I love it. Dude, I have so many of these shows out there now that I love, but just kind of lose track of.
Right.
Do you do that too, where you start watching something and you just get sidetracked?
Well, the one that I started and I haven't finished yet is I started watching The Munsters.
Well, but you've seen all those.
Yeah, but some of them, but a lot of them I haven't seen in like 30 years.
Right.
So it's just like, oh yeah, I remember that. But some of these series that are becoming available on Netflix and stuff. That's kind of how I occupy my time.
Sure. Have you been watching any of the original series that are on either Netflix or Amazon or whatever?
Like House of Cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
House of Cards is good.
Yeah, that's real good.
Have you checked? Do you have Prime or not?
Yes.
Okay, on Prime, have you checked out Alpha House?
No.
That's fucking good.
All right, I'll have to mark that on my list.
It's a good one, and I think you would probably like that one because it's comedy.
Okay.
It's I don't know any of the guys' names other than John Goodman.
Okay.
John Goodman's in it, and the other guys you will recognize, but I have no idea what their real names are. But it's kind of it fits me and you because it's like a political thing. It's kind of like the other side of these guys that are like senators.
Okay.
On Capitol Hill, and it's it's just funny because it's nothing but all the backroom lies and bullshit that they tell each other.
Sure.
How they're all fucking the secretaries.
Nice.
But it's just like it's a 20-minute comedy show.
Okay.
Or they just uploaded the second season, which is like 10 or 12 episodes or whatever.
All right.
It's a good show. It's real. I like some of these new things. Now, Amazon seems like they'll give anybody money to put a show together because they've had some real shitty ones.
Right.
But I always try. Look, the Netflix ones are usually good.
Right.
Like what's that one that we both like with Little Steven?
Oh, the Lilyhammer.
Lilyhammer.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that one to restart.
Yeah, that's getting ready to start, and I believe Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty sure Netflix brought back The Killing for season 4 of The Killing.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you watched that show?
No, I haven't.
Ooh, dude. Being that you like the Suns, that's your shit there.
It's called The Killing.
The Killing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this chick who's like oddly hot.
Okay.
She's not hot. Like if you saw her in a mall, you wouldn't think that she's hot.
But because she's kind of like Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got kind of dirty hot, but she isn't like a knockdown drag out beauty, but there's just something really sexy about her.
Yeah, there's like a lot of scenes she runs a lot in the show. That's like their transitional shit is her jogging.
Okay.
And man, oh man, she gets running in them yoga pants. It's like, oof, I would fuck the tar out of you.
Nice.
But it's like a really seedy, dark cop investigative show.
Okay.
It's real fucking good. I can't believe it got canceled. But other than it probably cost too much. It was on like A&E or something.
Right.
Who just doesn't have the money to make a show like that.
Sure.
But they did 3 seasons. I've seen the 3 that A&E did, and now the 4th season is up with that Netflix did exclusively of it. And I just haven't watched that yet, but that show fucking rocks, man.
Right.
That's one of the best shows of the last 5 years.
Right. Well, at what point did you ever think in your life that you would do without just regular network television or cable or whatever, and you're perfectly content with all the on-demand stuff that you can, watch through Netflix or Amazon Prime or, any one of those, Hulu?
Dude, I remember, for reasons I won't get into, me and the ex fought constantly about the fucking cable.
Right.
She just had her thing about the fucking, it's all porn and Cialis ads and blah, 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 blah.
Cialis ads?
She used to get crazy about all that shit.
Why?
Because my kids were young, and then she had to fucking tell, my daughter what fucking Viagra was and blah, blah, blah. She's a nut.
Okay.
I'll just leave it there. She's a little bit fucking goofy.
All right.
And so she had all these problems with that shit.
All right.
Which is fine. But But I mean, for probably 3 years, all I heard about was we got to cancel the cable. Got to cancel the cable. So sick of this fucking cable. It costs too much, and all it is smut and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And I fought as hard as I could fight anything not to cancel the cable. Because for me, I thought, well, I got to have my football and I got to have my TV, you know.
Right.
You know, that's how, especially when I work, most of the time I have a TV on when I'm working. So I fought it and fought it and fought it. And I remember when I first cut the cable, I was like devastated. I felt like I felt like I lived in a cave.
Sure.
You know, because people would come up to me and say, hey, did you see the new episode or whatever? No. You know, because back then, you know, we didn't even have the Roku.
Sure.
You know, and my kids bought me my first Roku for Christmas, I think it was either my birthday or Christmas.
Right.
And I had here in the little office, you know, my little corner of the house I was allowed to have. I had a little TV, little 20-inch TV, and I hooked the Roku up to it. And I had a Netflix account, and that was it. And Crackle. And I was watching everything with that. And then the divorce hit, and then it was like, all right, well, now it's on.
Right.
You know, then I downloaded all kinds of shit and started watching everything. But
Sure.
yeah, I remember when I first cut the cable, I thought my life was over. I really did. But dude, I don't know that I would go back.
Right. I don't have any desire. I had DirecTV for, you know, at least 12 years.
Yeah, I had it for easily 10 or Dish.
And you know, I cut it off 2 years ago.
Right, and you don't miss it a bit.
Nope, not at all, because, you know, for the sports, as I've said before, and now that I got the Chromecast,
right,
I just watch any sports I want on the WYSIWYG.
Right.
And I Chromecast it to the TV.
I know, it's great.
And then for my shows like Sons of Anarchy, I just go to Stream to, I think it's called streamtowatch.me.
Oh, and then you just watch it?
And I just Chromecast it to the TV.
Nice. Well, I told you could use my Amazon if you wanted to watch that.
Yeah, well, I watch it when it's on.
Oh, well, yeah, but I can't watch Sons when it's on because there's too many fucking commercials.
Yeah, I understand.
I wait till the next morning and I get it commercial free.
Sure.
Oh, this is really depressing.
What?
I just got a message, a Facebook message from my new best friend ever, Holly, from Facebook.
Okay, Holly from Facebook.
Yeah, who said I'm a babe.
Oh, yeah, I saw your little message.
Yeah, but she just wrote me. I'll read it. Let me pull it back up. Where did it go? Shit, where did it go? Here it is. Holly. Listening live right now, just a heads up, the ending to the Killing series was the shittiest ending to any awesome show that I have ever seen. No! I can't have that.
Right.
I love the Killing.
Well,
but no, getting back to your point, I cannot fathom it, you know, going back. You know, I've got it worked out now with the football where I put antennas on my TVs. You know, those flat antennas that you can buy. Right. And those work perfectly for football.
Sure.
And then, you know, thankfully I have our good friend John Darlis who hooked me up to watch everything from Monday Night Football to HBO to everything else.
Right.
So, dude, and now, and this is one, I got to give you the code. Remind me this during the week. I've got to give you the code, especially where you've got 50 fucking computers in there.
Yeah.
You need to hook Play On up.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Well, I'll give you, I have a lifetime code.
Okay.
I actually bought it. You know, it's not like it's a hack code. I actually bought a lifetime code. And when you hook that up, you literally get like 50 channels of like cable channels,
nice,
including shit that you don't get now with like Hulu or Netflix or anything.
Right.
You know, you can get all the 358 or CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, but you can actually get some live actual cable channels too, like USA and TNT and TBS.
Nice.
You know, it's like doesn't cost you shit.
Right.
You pay the license fee and that's it. One time, $50.
Sure.
Fantastic. I use it all the time.
Excellent.
I actually run it on this that's what this computer, the The CMS is my CMS computer. When it's not doing CMS, its only other job is to run my my PlayOn.tv.
Right.
It's fantastic, dude.
Nice. Well, this has been TV talk here on your Classic Metal Show.
Oh, we're not going to talk any metal tonight, are we?
I don't know. I got a couple of things in mind. I see you got a few things on your list.
Dude, if we don't talk about anything else tonight, and I'm now, you know me, I don't care what we talk about, really. I'm going to take a stand and say I really want to talk about this fucking idiot, Vinnie Vincent.
Oh, okay. I saw that was at the top of your list, so we will definitely talk about that.
Did you happen to go
to
the
I
auction?
didn't. I didn't look at it. No.
Don't go there yet.
I'm not.
Let me just tell you, this guy, whatever drugs he was doing in the 80s, still haven't worn off.
Right.
He is fucking insane. I'll give you just the slightest hint. I'll give you one auction item. Okay? This is your teaser. Kiss belt buckle or a Vinnie Vincent belt buckle.
Okay.
$50,000.
$50,000. $50,000 for a belt buckle. That thing better be diamond studded.
That thing better come with a chick attached to it to suck my cock.
Right.
$50,000.
All right.
So yeah, get ready for that because that is something else.
Sure. All right. Well, we got a list of things to talk about, which we will. We got to talk about Bob Nalbandian's T-Radio V show this week.
Sure.
Got to talk about that. Got to talk about him being interviewed by yourself and Bill Peters.
Oh, did he get on Bill's show too?
Yeah. Actually, Wheezy sent me over a clip.
Okay, good.
Of Bob speaking of us on the Bill Peters show.
Nice.
And so we're going to have to talk about that. And got a couple of news stories that I ran across today that I thought was, semi-interesting, socially, relevant. Did
they come out yet? I'm assuming, since I haven't heard that Ferguson, Missouri wiped itself off the map, that they did not settle that thing yet.
If he's going to be, the cop is going to be indicted yet or not?
Yeah.
I have not heard.
Yeah, I'm assuming if he was indicted, we'd be hearing about Ferguson blowing up now, wouldn't we?
Right. I'm thinking scorched earth. I think that they should just wipe that section of St. Louis right off the map.
I'm for that.
Just be done with it.
At this point, I'm for a Sons of Anarchy style. Just open up a bunch of doors and just start gunning people down,
just like they did with Pope's crew.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that.
Dude, was that vicious or what?
Oh, well, I will talk about that later. I actually invited Kim from Chicago on the show, but she said she's out this weekend.
All right.
But I got a few things to say.
Yeah.
Not only from the violence end, but from the ick end.
Yeah, there was an uncomfortable 5 minutes to start that show. That's for sure.
Things I don't really want to see.
How do you fucking go through? You've done 6 beautiful years on this show, 6.5 perfect years on this show, and you're going to be remembered as the guy that Marilyn Manson was fucking.
Right.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.